Hey folks, Mysterious JG here, coming to you from the future. Woo! Okay, what's actually going on here, folks? I'm really annoyed about this. This video, I finished, processed, deleted the component files, sent it to Bobo. Then in the uploading schedule, it didn't get uploaded, and I came back to America, and Bobo gave me back my channel, and I forgot to upload any of these videos. And nobody said anything. Nobody commented or messaged me. I was like, JG, it's been a couple of weeks since the last Zork video. Are you giving up on Steppinthrax Monestary? And blah. So I'm uploading it now, but I'm doing post commentary, as you might have gathered from the fact that I'm not talking about what's happening on screen. Because I deleted the component files for this and then found out that there was a mistake. The way that I usually record these files, these commentary tracks, is I was recording it on Camtasia, and I was finding that I had to record a separate commentary track to get good quality audio on the commentary. And so I would use the audio commentary track that Camtasia recorded for itself to sync it. I would have two commentary tracks, and I would sync them together and then turn the volume down to 0 on the one that was recorded by Camtasia because the quality was low. Well, in the meantime, I found out the reason the quality was low was because I had something set wrong. I don't even know exactly how the settings changed, but I got a new microphone, and plugging it in, unplugging the old one, switching them back and forth, ultimately I got rid of it, and I'm using my old microphone. But in doing that, I ended up having to go in and switch a bunch of settings to try to make the new microphone work because it didn't want to work. And now Camtasia records a perfectly good audio commentary track because the problem was it was recording from the... I'm giving you a lot of boring technical details, but right now, we'll explain this in a minute. Yeah, I had been recording my commentary track in Camtasia from my internal laptop microphone instead of my headset, so that's why the quality was never good. Now that's fixed. But back when I recorded this, I was still using two separate commentary tracks, and I didn't delete them, which means that, and I didn't sync them perfectly. So the actual live commentary, if I played this, it's like my voice layered to the point where it's very difficult for you to understand what I'm saying because I've got I got my voice twice, and they're not quite synced, and it just sounds echoey and weird. So I dropped it. It would have sounded amusing for like a couple seconds, and then like watching a half-an-hour video with it, I don't think anyone was going to do it. In the meantime, yeah, so I'm from the future. We have world peace now. It's good. Cancer's been cured. But I'm having to go back now and revisit this LP. Just this video. It's just this video. The next video will be normal again. And what I'm struggling with in the past, and all I've done, even if you were listening to the commentary track that was originally recorded, still it would just be a bunch of me complaining about technical issues, because I'm complaining about the fact that this puzzle, you're supposed to click a rope and then you ride up the rope to the top of this clock tower and you click on something at the top of the clock tower, and if you don't click on it in time, you ride back down the rope to the bottom of the clock tower. It's a timed clicking puzzle that my computer can't handle because it's running Windows 7. And it's not even a Windows 7 thing. It can't handle it because my computer is like a modern computer. My computer is actually pretty good. Wouldn't have to be good. Any computer you can buy now, even the cheapest computer you can still buy in a store new, has a processor speed that's way too fast to play this game. This game was designed for the computers that were out when I was in college. Fairly early in my collegiate career, as a matter of fact. So, without dating myself too much, we're talking about, well over a decade ago. This game would have been out and running on the computers of that time. So basically, these timed clicking puzzles don't work because the computer zooms through the animations and stuff that it's supposed to show on screen and gets to the end and hits a point where it's waiting for you to input before it continues. So anything like this, where it will go on its merry way without you, you've got to do what I just did, the way we managed to get through it, which is to use like a CPU killer application on a modern computer to slow your computer down to the point where it plays like a computer of the time, and I was working with 2 different versions of some CPU killer application. The upgraded version looks like it works, but it doesn't. All the display GUI stuff is nice, but it doesn't actually seem to change the speed on my computer, or maybe my computer's blocking it from working, or I don't have something set right. The older version was working, but it was a pain in the butt to use because I kept having pop-up warning, like, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening messages. Like, basically, I think it was like a, not Norton, but some kind of system warning, like, this program is using a great deal of your resources. Like, well, that's the point. It's supposed to be using system resources to slow the computer down so that it will play Zork Nemesis like Zork Nemesis was meant to be played at a slower clock speed. And I spent a lot of time talking about clock speed in the live commentary track, and I almost certainly used the term wrong. I don't even know if clock speed's a real term. So yeah, we have this puzzle where we're supposed to click the rope right up to the top, get out of the top of the clock tower, which we've now done, and I go into this immediate panic mode that now the computer's running real slow, the save function is going to not work properly, or something will go wrong. But it seems like everything's okay, and other than the fact that it took me many, many tries to get this video started at the time, and even now I had to come back and do post-commentary, we're still good to go. What are you doing, JJ? Do not go back down there. We do not want to have to do that again. We will have another problem with the clock speed at one of the puzzles at the very end of the game. But for right now, we're in what's-his-name's room. Malvo's room. There's a picture of Alexandria. There's some stuff. What I've decided I'm going to do, because I had processed a complete video, there's a picture of flames of different colors. This will be important. Remember this. Oftentimes there's like really neat background and pretty detail, and sometimes it's important and you can't tell. Oh, well, there's going to be stuff for me to read. Last night I couldn't get to sleep at Last night I dreamed of a nightmarish ride through the impoverished classes. The dream haunts me. I am dazed by the dirt and the sheer noise. My coach trips over and the crowd closes in on me like an egg, crushing me like the grip of earth. Okay? Their spit burns me like the fire of emotion. Despair fills me, and then air. Sweet, sweet air clears away the crowds. Is this a sign of my fallen state or simply my work? I don't get that one. I'm not even sure who's supposed to have written this particular one, because air is a different alchemist element. Check it out, Prozork. Yeah. But anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, because I do have one soundtrack, the game sound and my commentary is all burned on one track. So I'm going to bring back the original soundtrack for when there's game audio that you need to hear, and by which I mean voice acted. And that's why I'm going to shut up now.
What is this?
A lifetime for some. A lifetime fashioning their desperate hope. Mortality. I can't. Not at this cost. Hell is better. I'll pray. I can still pray for forgiveness. Pardon my sins. Avarice. Sloth.
Jealousy.
Envy.
Envy.
Lust.
Gluttony.
Deceit. Greed.
It's one of my favorite episodes of
Forgive me.
whatever the name of that show was that was on Evil Zone. Line Roll Rain's show. The Line Roll Rain's Hour. Starring Line Roll Rain's. Hey, I'm back, folks. It's Future JG again. Yeah, I meant to explain it before we got there, but when the game has voice acting, I will stop talking and I will bring back the original audio track. Knock, knock, knock. That's the other side of the door we couldn't open before. I'll bring back the original audio track, but you'll be able to hear the echo. There's Alexandria. Oh, sorry, Dr. Torres. For some reason, I made him have a Tom Baker voice at this point. The actor Tom Baker. As we discussed, I will bring her to you 1 week after birth. Do not underestimate the importance of your task. Because I don't sound anything like Tom Baker. Spiritual progress, the purification of her soul is essential to the process. She will be a gift to all mankind. K9. You never know the answer when it's fucking important, K9. Yeah. Anyway, keep going, JG. How long does it take you to read this? I must be, pontificating on the plot. Oh, the Grand Inquisitor. Father Malvo, I was much moved by your tale of the orphan child. As a result, in a spirit of goodwill, I have agreed to grant your request. You may take this baby and raise her until she reaches maturity. York be with you, the Grand Inquisitor. Throw... something in jail. I can't remember what the line was now. Throw history in jail. I'm the evil Grand Inquisitor, and I'm supported by the even more evil Rip Taylor. See, aren't they cute? Look at them. Dearest Malvo, I am delighted by Alexandria's progress. I think that your use of puzzles to sharpen her mind and spirit is working beautifully, and already I can see promise in her music. I will be saving a seat for her in the conservatory. Yours truly, Sophia. That's the Sophia Hamilton conservatory chick. There's a cute little girl playing the violin. She's cute. Dear Father, I miss you. Madame Sophia seems to be paying much attention to me. She believes in my soul I possess the very power of music, and with practice I will find the precious notes which are the harmony of the spheres. I'm not so sure. Everyone believes my music strange. Do you think me strange? I know I am lonely, always missing you, Alexandria. And it says, I know am lonely. There should be an I there. I just inserted it without even looking at it. It's like, I know am lonely. I know I'm lonely. You know my enemy. Always missing you. Dear Father, I've met someone, and for the first time in months I feel optimistic. His name is Lucian Kane, and he is the one person who seems to understand my music. When around him I don't have to apologize for who I am or what I believe. I've finally found my kindred spirit, as you always promised I would. Be happy for me, your Alexandria. Oh, and she drew a little musical note by her signature. She's adorable. Apparently a little older at this point. There is something strange going on, and I have to get out of here. Lucian wants to marry me. We will come to you at the next full moon. Marry us and give us your blessing for the future. I know you're concerned for purity of spirit, but remember, not all of us are destined to marry Yorick and live in a monastery. Yeah. But anyway, what I was trying to explain before is that when I go back to the game audio, you will also get the original commentary track because they are fused into one audio track. I've lost the component files. I can't separate them. Which means you'll hear occasionally when the game is doing voice acting, you may hear me doing commentary, and it'll be weird and echoey, and you'll be able to hear in those brief lines why I couldn't make you sit through a whole video like that. Anyway, here's a book. We can interact with it, as evidenced by the hand icon. We really don't have a lot of items to play with, so let's use the looking glass. Yay. Bring noise occurs there, you solved a puzzle noise. And we got a picture of skulls, which I didn't comment on this at the time, but it reminded me, and you can see there's a picture of skulls. You can't click on them, so you just need to imagine that image is important and keep that in the back of your mind. That image of skulls reminds me of an anecdote where I was hanging around with a girl from work. At the time, she was a goth girl. She later became a born-again Christian. That's a weird story in and of itself. But as a goth girl, I went to her apartment, and she had, like, skulls, like decorative plastic skulls. They'd play with this. Ooh, secret books, secret passageway. And this is important because this leads to someplace we've already been. And if you go back and click this wall now that you know there's a passageway there, you can get back to Malvo's room, and you never have to play with that bell tower puzzle again, which is important because the bell tower puzzle will break your mind and will. If you are playing this on a modern computer, you would have no way of knowing that there's a bell tower thing, that you need to use CPU killer and slow the game down, blah, blah, blah. You would have to know the solution to the puzzle. Otherwise, you just keep messing. You just keep assuming you've missed something and you're stuck. It's awful. So, yeah. We're heading now towards the basement area. We're heading down to the crypt. We are not going to join the Bloods. We're going to join the crypts. But anyway, this girl went to her apartment. She has all sorts of like decorative skulls and stuff. Like this whole skull motif skulls and skeletons on posters for bands and stuff. Got like candles shaped like skulls or whatever. And she said, like, I was like, hey, yeah, there's like a lot of skulls in here. And you know, being the witty guy that I am, you want to play? Let's play. It's a good line. That's where it was. And can you see now where those pictures of the skulls might come in? Yeah. The picture of the skulls from Malvo's bed was apparently the combination for the top secret lock thingy. And we need to get pan relief going, or shut off to do this. And we have to twist the skulls so that they look like they do in his picture. Isn't that nice? Alright. But yes, to make a short story incredibly long, I'm in this girl's apartment. She's got all these skulls. I'm like, hey, you got a lot of skulls. She's like, yeah, I really like skulls. You like skulls? And I said, everyone should have one. Which I thought was pretty funny. Okay, so we're twisting the skulls around either 90 degrees left, 45 degrees left, straight forward, or 90 degrees right, 45 degrees right, as you hear a sound to indicate that we solved the puzzle. And we go and shut off pan relief. I believe in my commentary track I was pontificating on the fact that we're so close to the end, maybe we should keep pan relief on, but no, because when you're going through the game trying to maneuver around rooms with pan relief off, it's just really, really annoying. So now we have opened the secret passageway at long last into Malvo's alchemical chamber, because all of these guys have an alchemical chamber. An alchemical chamber of something. I think I confess here to the fact that, although this one I didn't end up needing a fact to figure it out, I confess to the fact that it took me forever to figure this out off screen, just putzing around with it, not knowing what to do. But I make it look fairly easy here because I know what to do. You pick up the key, you open this thing, and you read it, although this doesn't really tell you anything important. It's just kind of background. This is the work of the alchemists, earth and air, fire and water, the endless battling of elements, fixed and volatile, yet not the one can exist without the other three held fast. So must it be with the great eclipse, where the moon holds the sun fixed, and the two warring rulers of the cosmos marry in conjoined harmony, male to female, gold to silver, king to queen, and the quintessence governs all. And there looks like there's stuff you should be looking at over there, but you can't. You pick up a little piece of metal. You spin around in the wrong direction, JG, because you don't know what you're doing. You come over to this thing. This is kind of important. You see there's different colors of flame. Well, actually, you don't see that yet. You will see it when I start clicking them. There's a bunch of different things you can mess with. There's a wheel you can turn. That makes lava flow. And that makes flames appear. You've got 5 flames in different colors. What does that remind you of? That should remind you of the picture we saw in Malvo's room. Not the one of the skulls, but he had a wall picture of different colored flames. And it looked like neat and decorative and nice. And it's the kind of thing that you might have thought was just a piece of background detail, but it is in fact a clue into how to solve this puzzle. And in this puzzle, you click on these controls, and you can change the colors of the flame, and you need to change them so that these flames match the picture in Malvo's room. So there's no logic like, I need to figure out, should it like gradually be heated? Should it hit the hottest flame first, and then the flame should gradually cool? Let me figure out chemically what's important. No, you just have to match them to the colors in Malvo's room. Now you have this thing. This machine won't work until you put in the key. But we've got the key, so goody. And you can put in the key and then not realize you have to turn the key. That can be an annoying way to fail for a while. Drop in that piece of metal. Now, when you close it, this thing will turn around and give you something. If you don't have the key in, it won't turn around. It gives you a little ball. Now you got metal. You got brass balls, folks. Or brass ball. Come over here. You put the ball in that bucket. And I don't know if this is some kind of acid solution or something. I don't know what the hell's going on, except that you've somehow purified it and you got nice shiny shiny metal thing. You pop that in the lion's mouth, and if the flames are in the correct order, You hear the sound of it coming out down there. It's burned. I don't know why it had to be round, other than that's the only way you could fit it into that line thingy. Now when you blow the bellows, you get what's a good sign that it turned into the symbol of an element. That's a pretty strong indication that we did it correctly. So the clouds, that's good to know. And the titular comes from the title screen. The game is not called Zork Eclipse about to happen, but the eclipse of the title screen is approaching. And it is most likely significant. So what do we have left? Water, which we actually already did, but as I've explained before, we goofed around with where we saved so that we could see all those speeches. Air. Party gun fire. Sorry, Earth. And now finish fire. Let's see. Blood bubbling up. And the death of Malvo. Got impaled on a spike. Apparently, it looked like I could see in the background that it happened here. Which is particularly surprising, I suppose. This is where they were hanging out as alchemists.
Ah, bless you.
Didn't sneeze.
Your wanderings in my world have stirred many memories. You must understand, we meant no harm. Alexandria was my child. I thought I was saving her from Lucienne and from a hasty marriage, protecting her destiny. But I couldn't protect her from the Nemesis. He was obsessed with our knowledge. I now know I was wrong, but I never got to tell her. I never got to say goodbye. Surely, this must be hell. There is a way to bring them back, but we need the 4 metals. Please, let me have one last chance.
Okay, folks, so yeah, sorry, I cut once again back to the original soundtrack without warning. But that's kind of it for the video. Past JG spends a certain amount of time pontificating on what we've seen, so I guess I'll try to recreate more or less what I told you guys at the time. Mostly I just talked about what we've learned. So we know that Malvo raised Alexandria as his daughter, but she was not his biological daughter, she was adopted. And we'll find out a little bit more about that later, but I don't want to talk about it too much. Yeah, so he adopted Alexandria, and because honestly, we're talking about level of plot detail that I didn't remember playing through the game for the LP. Stuff that been years since I played the game, I forgot about it. Now that I've just LP'd it within the last couple of weeks, I do remember some of this stuff. Stuff that we find out in the 4th and final Alchemist's location. But at this point, we know that he raised Alexandria as his daughter. He seemed to love her and care for her, like, you know, as you'd expect that he would. And he sent her off to the conservatory when she was still fairly young. Now, he doesn't appear to age at all between the time when she's a little girl and between the time when she's older. And I kind of commented on this and you know, excused it by saying, well, you know, come on, they only got one actor to play the part of the of Malvo. They're not gonna, you know, go into it too much, getting more actors to do the parts, whatever. The big thing is that you know, he changed his age during the time that it takes her to go from 10 to 30. She's going to change a lot more in appearance than he is in the same number of years, going from 50 to 70. There'll be some change in appearance. It's inexcusable, if we're being realistic and harping on that, for there to be no difference in appearance between 50 and 70. But, I mean, yeah, it's obviously going to be less extreme than the difference between 10 and 30. So, and it's not 10 and 30. It's like probably more like 60 6 to 26. But yeah, so what happens? Alexandria goes to the conservatory. She comes under the care of Lady Hamilton, who, as I talk about in another strand, is just, she bothered me. I didn't like her. She just seemed kind of weird. Not just because she was sleeping with Cain, the elder, but she just kind of seemed off. But Malvo seems like he's a pretty nice guy. But he clearly feels bad about what happened, because when Alexandria goes to the conservatory, she falls in love with Lucy and Cain. She feels like rejected, and she doesn't have friends, and she's all lonely. So lonely. But she falls in love with Lucy and Cain, and they decide that they're going to elope because Madam Hamilton and Cain the Elder are so dead set against their love, and she writes to him for help, and apparently he either tells her that he'll help, or she just comes without an answer, but he makes like he's going to wed them, yet at the same time it's become apparent he must tell Cain, unless Cain follows Lucian. It seems like Malvo probably told Cain. Maybe Lucian followed Malvo on his own. Or followed Lucian on his own. Cain the Elder followed Lucian on his own, and Malvo did nothing to stop it. But it seems like Malvo actually told Cain the Elder, so that Cain could break up the wedding and ruin everything and create a bunch of teenage angst. So yeah, but the thing he feels bad about is he and the other alchemists that we've seen so far all seem to feel responsible for the Nemesis, who killed not only the alchemists, but they feel responsible for the fact that the Nemesis killed Lucian and Alexandria. At this point, we still don't know exactly what the Nemesis is. I'm assuming at this point, again, I know the answers because I just finished LPing the game recently, but I'm assuming at this point there's got to be something that comes after we get these 4 elements back. I don't think the game will end there, because there's always a section that's always at the end. If you have the choice of taking things on, if you can fight the Robot Masters in any order, you always have to fight Dr. Wily at the last. So this game's Dr. Wily, I'm thinking it's got to be the Nemesis. There's got to be some possibly short sequence at the end after we've completed the 4 alchemical quests to defeat the Nemesis. But at this point, we don't even know what the Nemesis is. So that'll be interesting to see. The next location is Kinderdijk. No, the next location is the other thing I talked about. We did the conservatory, which I thought was really atmospheric and creepy, because it seemed like a place that was really vibrant and full of life, which is always creepy then when you see it like a ghost town, empty. Cain's Castle Iron Dune was just full of like creepy implements of war and torture and whatnot. And then the monastery didn't bother me too much. It should have been creepy and weird. I mean, there's all this flame motif, and it's this like weird pagan fire religion, but it didn't bother me. I was cool with it. The next place that's coming up, the Asylum, is the creepiest place in the game, bar none, easily the creepiest location that we're going to go to in this game. And an asylum, literally the denotative definition, this is a place where you go for asylum. It's a place where you rest, like a sanitarium. You go there to rest and to escape from your woes and to heal. But mostly because of I'm trying to remember the name of the really famous one, Bedlam, the lunatic asylums of like Britain in like the 19th or 18th century. The word asylum has been sullied, and let's put it this way, folks. The asylum we're going to be visiting, where the doctor works, is definitely in that mode of evil asylums. At any rate, that's going to be it for this video. I think I'm running out of time. So when we come back, we'll be back to live commentary. Hope this wasn't too big of a nuisance for you. Believe me, it was either this or crazy echoing the whole time. I think this is the better choice. But I'll see you next time when we go to the asylum. And after that, we will be moving on. The asylum is pretty short. After that, we'll be moving on to the final stage of the LP. It's Mysterious JG. I want to thank you guys for watching. Shame on you guys for not telling me that I didn't post this. Like telling me weeks ago, oh my god, JG, we can't wait for the next episode of Zork Nemesis. What's going on? Yeah. Whatever. It's just a testament to how many people are watching this compared to some of my other stuff. But I'm enjoying this. Hope you are too, and I'll see you next time. even though I won't see you next time because I'm in the future. Woo! Anyway, which is apparently inhabited by ghosts. Bye-bye, folks.